Good morning everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm Mysticle and today I'm bringing you a brand new video with the latest and greatest in VR and AR news. We actually have quite a few exciting and really good things happening in this one, but before we begin, I'd like to apologize if there's any humming in the background. I'm repo-syncing an entire GitHub repository and for some reason the CPU is at 100%. Now, let's jump right into the video. The first piece of news seems to, at first, only be coming to iPhone, but I really hope they bring this feature over to Android as well, as Meta is now asking Apple to let you AirPlay your iPhone content or screen to Quest. From Upload VR, Meta's VP of VR, Mac Rabkin, announced the request in a post on X, saying he would absolutely love this to happen. So, from Joel Bassin, why can't we at least AirPlay content from our iPhones to our Quests? Would make the flying experience much better. You being able to see your phone in virtual reality wouldn't just make the flying experience much better, but would just make the experience a lot better for a ton of users. Sometimes you're playing a VR game and you quickly need to check your phone. And while the Quest 3 has passed through barely good enough to allow you to read your phone, the other Quests, good luck. So most people will just resort to this, which is trying to look at your phone through the nose hole, which I've plugged the nose hole with a VR cover facial interface, so I can't even do that. I need to flip up my Quest and pause my game every time I want to check my phone. And from Mac Rabkin, I would absolutely love to do that. We're asking Apple for permission for Quest to be an AirPlay receiver. And you can actually already do this by sideloading different Android apps to your Quest that basically make it an AirPlay receiver. But it's not official and it's not native, making the experience a lot more clunky and not always working when you're playing other titles. I feel like if Meta was to make this native and make it work well, it could improve the experience in VR by a ton. I really hope they do the same thing with Miracast, which is essentially the equivalent of AirPlay on an Android device, and I'm actually surprised they haven't done it already, considering both of these devices run Android. It does seem like most of the cool features that come to Quest first come to iPhone for some reason, even though the platform is already running Android OS. But hey, look, I'm not complaining. As long as they can bring it and make it happen, I'm pretty happy with that. And do you know what else I am incredibly happy with? This one I didn't see coming, and honestly, I think a lot of you didn't see this coming. Sony is bringing official PSVR2 support to PC. Yeah, how crazy is that? We've heard of unofficial sources trying to make the PSVR2 work on PC for quite some time now. However, it seems that Sony has been thinking about this in the background and has now officially announced they're working on it. The plan is to make it happen in 2024. From Upload VR, Sony is working on PC support for PSVR2. It announced today. Here's exactly what Sony said in a blog post announcing upcoming PSVR2 games. Also, we're pleased to share that we are currently testing the ability for PSVR2 players to access additional games on PC to offer even more game variety in addition to the PSVR2 titles available through PlayStation 5. We hope to make this support available in 2024, so stay tuned for more updates. Now that is cool. And people have had their own theories about this. I think the main running theory right now is the way it's going to work is you're still going to need a PlayStation 5 and your PC is essentially going to stream the VR game to the PlayStation 5, kind of like Steam Link would. This, according to me, is the worst option because it means that if you do want to use a PlayStation VR2 for PCVR, you're still going to need a PS5, which is expensive. I mean, that's going to run you like, what, 1K plus a PC that is capable of VR? Not the best option. If you ask me, the much better option here, because the PSVR2 is a headset that only has one Type-C cable, and most graphics cards don't have a Type-C port, the best option here would be for Sony to create some sort of dongle or some sort of little box that the PSVR2 can connect to, and then that will connect to the PC, essentially making it a native PCVR headset with that little attachment box. That would be really cool. I don't think they're going to do that because that would once again steer away from their own content library. If they did, wow, amazing. But let me know your opinions on this one down below. Okay, I have written down here, water debris in charging port. Apparently, since V62 and V63, there has been hundreds of reports, maybe even thousands of reports, of people trying to play PCVR on their Quest devices and essentially not being able to, because they get the message that they have water debris in their charging ports. And it does look like quite a few people have been having this problem. It seems that the workaround for this is to use a USB 2.0 cable instead of a USB 3.0 cable for wired link, but that is just overall a pretty terrible workaround, and even if it does work, USB 2.0 is so much slower than 3.0 that I wouldn't want to be playing PCVR that way. I personally have not encountered this problem, and I don't really use Link anyway. I use Virtual Desktop or Steam Link, but it is an issue that seems to have appeared in the latest software updates, V62 and V63. Quite a few people on Reddit, quite a few people on the Oculus forums reporting this, and I really hope Meta can get this sorted out. They have had bugs like this before that broke Link, and of course it's one of the main functionalities that people use on these VR headsets to be able to play PCVR on them, so it's quite annoying when that functionality gets broken. I'd say with the amount of people reporting this, Meta has already seen it, and I hope they're working on it. I have no direct contact with Meta, so unfortunately I can't do anything about it, but hopefully me putting into this video is making the voice just a little bit louder, and hopefully it can help you guys out. The Quest browser is now getting improvements with new features, especially with the Meta Quest 3. A new update improves its usability. The only usability that I want improved is to be able to place my windows anywhere around the room so that they don't have to float 3 windows next to each other. I believe most people want that. Update 31.4 for the Meta Quest browser is currently being rolled out to users. System software version 62 or higher is required to receive this update. And these features include WebXR that adds support for simultaneous hands and controllers. You have tabs in immersive. Your browser tabs will now be available across immersive applications, which is really cool. And then we have some experimental features, which are basically never available to everyone, and that's unfortunate. New windows, you can create new Meta Quest browser windows through the options menu, the 3-dot menu, or by right-clicking a link. You have persistent audio. Media will now continue to play when you switch to a new tab in the same window. You can also mute a tab by clicking the volume icon on the playing tab, which is basically what we've had in Chrome for a while. Improved new tab page. Users should see faster loading times, regional content, and removal of some shells. And we have improved full-screen media experience. Users will experience less distracted viewing by detecting idle interaction, preventing on-screen cursor, and accidental hand interactions. Meta has also applied security, reliability, and bug fixes. So in case you guys are using the Meta Quest browser, hopefully you should be seeing these improvements, and hopefully you will have access to those experimental features. And finally, towards the end of this video, we just have something really cool that's been floating around the internet, and that is the Meta Quest 3 Pro. No, this is not an actual Meta Quest 3 Pro created by Meta. This is actually a user that has created their own version of the Meta Quest 3 Pro. They have a glossy black front plate on it, and they have the Apple Vision Pro head strap. And I think this looks really sleek. I think it looks really, really cool. And again, it's been floating around the internet because it looks sexy. I do wonder how comfortable that strap actually is on the Quest 3, because if it is comfortable, it could be fantastic for casual media watching, because it is not a solid material on the back, so you could like lie back like this, which is not something you can do with the current head straps that you can buy from Meta, because they're plastic, they're solid, and this just isn't very comfortable. Maybe that is something I would try in the future. Thank you so much for sharing this. I love seeing people's creativity. I love seeing what people create with these. Either way, that is going to be it for today's video. A little bit of a shorter one today, but we have some news that I needed to share, especially that PSVR2 news. And yeah, if you guys like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess it works too, but let me know why down below. If any of you guys know how to build custom ROMs for Android phones, please join our Discord. I may require some support. I've been having issues with this for the last 4 days, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I know, a little bit out of context, but hey, we have a great community, and I love collaborating on projects with you guys. So check out that Discord, check out that Reddit. I want to see you posting your spicy memes on there. And thank you so much to all the Patreons and anyone else supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a super thanks, whether it's a donation, whether it's a Patreon. Seriously, you guys are amazing. Much love. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified of which content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, dig my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.